Alright, so just because I'm like stressed right out about trust funds and how many illegal things take place regarding that, and just all the other things that are stressful in the world, we're going to talk about Halo again a little bit, because you know what, if people can make entire channels talking about Marvel and just other stupid stuff, well, I don't really see the problem, because it's fucking intense. It is intense. So if you're wearing a Molnar and you're wearing something that was designed in year 2552, so your tech is like all done up real nice, and in reality the tech development going up to the year 2560 isn't going to be huge at all. There's going to be like next to no actual developments in the effectiveness of the strength of your suit. And so what you're going to face is the corporate spin-offs, the mass production that they're throwing at all of the normies, the people that don't have genetic engineering. I'm going to refer to as genetic engineering, but they're stuck with an actually inferior suit, and there's a reason why it's inferior. So if you jump off a building and you jump 3 stories down off that building and you're wearing a 10-ton Molnar suit because you're 8 feet tall in that suit, when you hit the ground, if you were a normie, and so as a normie you're only going to be like 7 feet tall, so your suit is going to be like proportionally like 7 or 8% smaller, and it doesn't have all the government funding, and you don't have like infinite expenses for like the perfect research and everything. But when you hit the ground, the G-force would essentially cause you to liquefy inside your suit, and if you survive that, the problem that you're going to face next is you're going to hit all of the sensors and the motion sensors in your suit, and the suit's going to force you to buckle into the ground faster than the initial drop. So you're going to drop down, you're going to hit the ground, you're going to liquefy in your suit, and then your suit is going to throw you onto the ground, and you're just going to reach a dead stop. It's worse than a car accident, because when you're falling, it's not like when you're driving and you crash and all the movements everywhere and your car's flipping over and both the cars, their whole front end crushes in. You got like an inch of like cushioning inside your suit as you crash into the ground, and your suit throws you in like mechanical chopping stick, like a log splitter, and you're inside it just. And so what's significant about the Spartans is that with all their artificial nutrients and their artificial blood and their synthesized muscular and bone structure, they can withstand that impact. You have to be a Spartan in order to actually withstand the G-force of driving this machine, aside from all of the momentum and energy that's forced into your body while you're moving around inside it, which destroys your ligaments. To use your enhanced speed and your enhanced strength and you backhand someone, when you activate all of those switches to activate the mechanical advantage, your arms are being shredded apart, and the Spartans can actually endure that stress. That is why Spartans wear Molnars and other people don't, and the Marines all just have exoskeletons. Their exoskeletons don't give them this awesome performance enhancement, they just bear extra weight and have armor that they're not carrying. As far as the philosophy of it goes. Now what's really bringing this up is I watched Cosmic Sin with Bruce Willis and Frank Grillo and CJ Perry and what's the other guy's name? Lachlan Monroe. That guy's awesome. I'm so glad he was in that movie. When he died, I'm like, no! The emotional stress of seeing Lachlan get shot in the head. I'm like, that's... it was perfectly well cast. I'm glad they picked him up for that. I thought I'd press pause. For that a little bit, Bruce Willis, his character Ford, geez, I forget the first name of Ford. Anyways, he goes into the rabbit hole. So there's this really weird casting spot where he sees the jackal hanging in the tree, and there's the other guy standing there, and then whether it's an elite with a sword or if it's a brute or whatever, just he goes into the rabbit hole, and he's talking to this not real person. And so that was a very interesting way that they portrayed this, because that movie was hilarious. And so the Halo story is just awesome, because while he's sitting there in this 10-ton, like tungsten steel Molnar suit with Kevlar and iron fiber like core, so he's got mobility and dexterity, his neck can't snap in any which direction, can't break his arms back, you can't pull them back, his fingers don't have the strength to tear apart another Spartan, so he can't grab you and snap your arm because his hand would be forced to let go before your arm would break. So he's like in this indestructible suit. And if you shot it with a tank, you just like get deflected. Well, this bullet tinks off you, goes 30 yards in a random direction, and just explodes. And so like, no matter how many times they try to shoot you, but the point is that even though he can stand being shot by the tank and his body inside the Molnar can take that stress, what he ends up having is, because he can take the stress of riding the Molnar, he can actually dodge tank bullets, because when he leads to the side and he activates all the little mechanical switches and the buttons, it can throw him out of the way of a tank bullet before he even hits him. So it's like, normies can't do anything about this 8-foot tall, 10-ton suit dude that's just like, no. So if I'm in a Molnar and I go to punch you, I would either dislodge you because I got good footing, or I'd bounce off you because you wouldn't move. So like, you got all these normies, these 7-foot tall dudes, and these mass production corporate spin-offs of what a Molnar could be, and you just got this huge dude, and they're supposed to bring this guy in. It's not going to happen. So because he's such a valuable asset,